Okay guys, we're going to be looking at silver now. Our bronze was pretty darn easy, as I'm sure most of you have seen. I'm going to be moving on to silver now, so let's start off with the basic silver. It's the same thing, you just get more waves and some additional mobs and a few different mobs as well. In this wave there's going to be 8. You're going to start off with the Ripper. We've had Rippers in the past, so we know how to deal with them. They just tank and spank pretty much. Yeah, as you can see there, has no special abilities. It's just, it tells you information on it. That's quite nice. And yet again, just eternal flaming. That's all I'm really doing. So it's a basic heal for majority of paladins. I'm not too sure if I can compare it to other classes, but I'd say things like rejuvenation or renew. Here we got a bigger one, a large illusionary manted singer. Deals damage to all nearby enemies. So this is generally your main focal point. Got an interrupt in there. You see, trying to help your team out, because as you can see, with that damage going around, if you leave it for too long, it can hurt you. Throwing the hammer out here just to speed things up. As you can see, the next wave is coming in 3, 2, 1. So your party generally just doesn't have enough damage, and you need to cope with 2 waves at a time. It's almost like training for Endless, because in Endless you have to do 30 waves, and there will be overlaps. So just keeping your whole group healthy. Obviously, standing in fire is probably one of the harder things you could do. And I think your NPCs will also stand in fire at some point, just to give you that feel for how some things can be really so stupid. I always like to look at it. I say, why stand in fire? You don't do it in real life, so why do it in game or in any game? Okay, so now we have got pretty much a large illusionary flame caller. Periodic hers balls of fire to set ablaze to the ground. So that's pretty much what we saw before. He also does a pyroblast. Doesn't seem to be hurting that much. Okay, actually it does hurt. I just realized there. So it's another one of those interrupt things you're gonna want to get on. But still, nothing you can't cope with. So far, everything's fine. Keeping the group stable. If you get a little bit bored, you can throw in a few DPS things. I'm just announcing. It's about the only thing I've really got on my bars. I do a little bit of PvP, which I'm sure you guys have seen in some of my videos. The announcer's really overpowered. Okay, so the Manted is back. I'm gonna go in for a stun just to help the group out. After the stun, he should actually do his call, so try and get nice and close. There you go. I was a little bit too slow there. Stupid lag. For some of you that don't know, you must be watching this overseas. I am from South Africa, so having a latency of 794, that's pretty darn normal. But I've had better. Actually, the internet lately has been quite shocking, so getting the hammer out in there. Still no mana issues, as you guys can see from my character. Really no problems whatsoever. Like I said, your gear is nerfed down, so I am looking at about 463. Even if it is Heroic Warforged, it still drops down to 463. Okay, so here we got a new one, an Acolyte. Applies an explosive debuff to the enemy, so this is probably something we're going to be looking at dispelling. He does hit quite hard. There goes the dispel, yeah. I'm going to be looking at swapping here. Getting out a little bit of a sacrifice. Sacrifice has gone out. This mob does hit a little bit harder, but I think it's generally because the Ripper is still out there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. In our group at the moment, by the looks of things, we have a warrior tank, we've got a rogue, we've got a hunter, and a mage. And obviously to complete the set, we have a holy paladin. I think they can also be buffed. Yeah, generally everyone's buffed up. Okay, so we got a large acolyte now. The only real difference, guys, is that the larger they are, the more health they have. So as you can see, they're picking up the small one first because it's an easy kill. I am going to throw in the hammer again. It's come off cooldown now, so I'm going to do that while I try and get some mana back. Always want to make sure you're quite topped on mana. Especially if you're looking at doing like 30 waves, it can take a lot of time. So you always want to have something that you can use on a cooldown. I haven't really tried potions yet. I'm still on silver. I'm not too sure if potions will work later on, but there's one way to find out, you know, just do it. And you see we got 10 seconds to spare, so this is generally where I'm presuming you can just sit down, have something to eat, get your mana back. It's a bit silly though, you've only got one wave to go. It deals of 2 smalls. You got a hive and an explosive. Looks like the team is going to be taking out the hive first, so that's quite a bonus. Thing on the tank, I'm going to take that out. I want to interrupt the hive. No, not going to happen. Okay, well, I've thrown down the hammer again. Just look after the melee while I tend to the range. Don't want that explosion to go off. Okay, it is a double wave. We have got heroism kicking in there. So this was probably where I should have used my hammer, but I'm gonna have to deal without. Just pushing on through. Guardian is gonna come out with some divine. I'm not too sure if your 4 sets actually work in here. They might, which would be quite helpful to some classes. For the paladin, my 4 set gives me 4,500 more mastery on the divine illumination. This is obviously in the Siege of Orgrimmar patch, which is current content right now. And does it look like my team's not going to make it? Well, time has run out. We're still going. And there you go. Sylvan healer done. So it looks as long as you don't die in that last few seconds, you can still do it. Cool.
Spinny McSpinnington.
Yeah.
Spinning. Seriously, that damage is ridiculous.